Have you ever noticed that some children seem surprisingly calm, independent, and confident long before anyone expects them to be? In Russia, it's common to see a 4-year-old carrying their own backpack, a 5-year-old helping prepare dinner, or a young child politely speaking with adults without constant reminders. Many people assume it's because Russian parents are simply stricter, but that's not the real story. The secret isn't harsh discipline or endless rules. It's a parenting philosophy that has been passed from generation to generation, one that blends responsibility, warmth, trust, and clear expectations from the very beginning. Today, you'll discover how this approach helps children grow into capable, resilient people, and more importantly, how you can adapt these timeless ideas to your own family without changing your culture or becoming a completely different parent. Have you ever heard the Russian word vospitanie? It's pronounced vospitanie, and while it's often translated as upbringing, that definition barely scratches the surface. To Russian families, vospitanie isn't just about teaching good manners or correcting bad behavior. It's about gradually shaping a child's character, values, emotional strength, and sense of responsibility through everyday life. Unlike many modern Western parenting styles, which often focus on following a child's preferences and protecting them from frustration, the Russian approach encourages children to become active contributors to family life from an early age. Children are trusted with small responsibilities, expected to solve age-appropriate problems, and encouraged to experience manageable challenges instead of avoiding them. Now, this doesn't mean Russian parents are cold or emotionally distant. In fact, many families are incredibly affectionate. But affection is paired with structure. Love is shown not only through hugs and praise, but also by believing a child is capable of doing difficult things. One reason this philosophy became so deeply rooted is history. For generations, Russian families lived through harsh winters, economic hardship, and periods of enormous social change. Communities learned that children needed more than comfort. They needed resilience, cooperation, and confidence. Those values became woven into daily parenting traditions. Neither approach is universally right or wrong. In fact, both have valuable lessons to offer. The goal isn't to replace one culture with another. It's to borrow the strengths that help children thrive. Modern attachment experts, including Russian child psychologist Lyudmila Petronovskaya, have also emphasized that children become more independent not when parents constantly control them, but when they feel emotionally secure enough to explore, make mistakes, and recover. That idea aligns surprisingly well with findings from developmental psychology around the world. So if you've ever wondered why some children seem naturally confident without being overconfident, why they take responsibility without constant rewards, or why they remain calm during challenges, the answer isn't a secret parenting trick. It's a different philosophy of raising human beings. The heart of Russian parenting begins with one simple belief. Children are often capable of much more than adults expect. Instead of stepping in immediately, many Russian parents pause. They watch. They give the child a chance to try first. Imagine a 4-year-old struggling to zip up a winter coat. Many adults instinctively help after a few seconds. A Russian parent is more likely to wait, offer encouragement, and allow the child to finish, even if it takes twice as long.
Why?
Because every small success teaches a child something powerful. I can do hard things. Developmental psychologists call this building self-efficacy, the belief that your own actions can solve problems. Research consistently shows that children who regularly complete age-appropriate tasks become more confident, persistent, and willing to face future challenges. Here's what many parents unintentionally get wrong. They confuse helping with empowering. Sometimes the fastest solution isn't the best lesson. Russian parents understand that today's extra 5 minutes can become tomorrow's lifelong confidence. That doesn't mean letting children struggle endlessly. Support is always available, but support comes after effort, not before it. Another surprising part of Russian parenting is something you rarely notice. It's the parent's voice. Many Russian parents believe children respond better to calm certainty than loud emotion. Instead of repeating instructions 5 or 6 times, they speak once, clearly and confidently. Imagine your child refuses to clean up toys. One reaction is frustration. How many times have I told you? Another is calm authority. It's time to put the toys away. I'll help you get started. The words are simple. The tone stays steady. Children naturally borrow emotional signals from adults. When parents remain regulated, children's nervous systems are more likely to settle too. Modern neuroscience supports this idea. Emotional regulation develops through co-regulation. Young children literally learn how to manage emotions by experiencing calm adults during stressful moments. This doesn't mean parents never feel angry. It means they avoid making anger the main teaching tool. Russian families often see discipline as guidance rather than punishment. Firm expectations, predictable routines, and respectful communication become the foundation. The goal isn't obedience through fear. It's cooperation built on trust. Here's another idea that surprises many parents. Russian families often don't reward every helpful behavior with stickers, candy, or prizes. Helping at home isn't treated as something extraordinary. It's simply part of belonging to the family. A 6-year-old might help fold laundry. An 8-year-old might prepare a simple breakfast. A 10-year-old could help care for younger siblings under supervision. These responsibilities grow naturally with age. The message isn't earn a reward. The message is you matter. Your contribution matters. Psychologists call this developing intrinsic motivation, doing something because it feels meaningful rather than because someone offers a prize. Studies suggest that children who experience meaningful responsibility often develop stronger independence, better problem-solving skills, and a greater sense of competence. Now here's an important distinction. This isn't about expecting perfection. Children make mistakes. Milk spills. Beds are messy. Laundry gets folded the wrong way. Russian parents often see those mistakes as part of learning rather than reasons to take the task away. Because every responsibility carries two hidden lessons: confidence and ownership. Every time we say, "You're too little, I'll just do it," or "You'll make a mess," we may accidentally teach children that they're less capable than they really are. Instead, Russian parenting quietly asks a different question. What can my child do today that they couldn't do last month? That single question changes everything. Little by little, day by day, children begin seeing themselves not as people who need constant help, but as people who can help others. And that's one of the greatest gifts any parent can give. So, how can you begin applying these ideas in your own home? Start by giving your child one new responsibility this week. You don't need to transform your entire parenting style overnight. A 2- or 3-year-old can put dirty clothes in a laundry basket. A 4- or 5-year-old can set napkins on the dinner table. Older children can help prepare simple meals, pack their school bag, or feed a family pet with supervision. The key is consistency. Let the task become part of your family's routine rather than something special. One common mistake is stepping in the moment your child struggles. Instead, wait a little longer. Offer encouragement before assistance. Don't expect perfection during the first few days. Most children need several weeks before a new responsibility becomes a habit. The goal isn't flawless results. It's growing confidence. Next, replace constant praise with genuine trust. Instead of saying, "You're so smart," try saying, "I knew you could figure it out." Or say, "You kept trying even when it was difficult." This shifts your child's attention from seeking approval to recognizing their own abilities. For younger children, keep your words simple and warm. For older children, ask questions like, "What part are you most proud of?" Over time, children begin building motivation from within instead of waiting for external validation. Another important step is allowing small struggles to become big lessons. When your child encounters a challenge, pause before solving it. If they're building a puzzle, tying their shoes, organizing a backpack, or trying to resolve a disagreement with a sibling, ask yourself, is this a safe struggle? If the answer is yes, allow them time to think. Of course, safety always comes first. Never leave children alone with situations beyond their developmental level or physical abilities. But many everyday frustrations are actually opportunities for growth. Resilience isn't taught during easy moments. It's built during manageable challenges with a supportive adult nearby. You might be surprised by how often your child succeeds once they're given enough time. Finally, create calm and predictable family routines. One of the strongest lessons from Russian parenting isn't a specific technique. It's consistency. Children feel safer when they know what comes next. Simple routines like morning preparation, family meals, bedtime reading, and cleaning up together reduce stress because expectations become predictable. This doesn't require a military schedule. Life will always be messy. The goal is simply to create rhythms your child can rely on. If you're raising children in a busy Western lifestyle, adapt these routines to fit your family instead of copying another culture exactly. Even one consistent family habit can make a noticeable difference after a few weeks. And if you miss a day, don't worry. Great parenting isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up again tomorrow. Every small step sends your child the same powerful message. I believe you're capable. Over time, children start believing it too. So, what's the biggest lesson from Russian parenting? It's not about raising children with tougher rules or expecting perfection. It's about believing that children grow stronger when they're trusted, guided, and given meaningful opportunities to contribute. The philosophy of Vospitany reminds us that confidence isn't something we can simply praise into existence. It's built one small responsibility, one solved problem, and one moment of trust at a time. Whether you live in New York, London, Sydney, Toronto, or anywhere else in the world, you don't have to become a Russian parent to benefit from these ideas. You can simply borrow the principles that fit your family's values and adapt them to your child's personality, age, and environment. Because every culture has something valuable to teach. And when we stay curious, we become better parents together. Which of these Russian parenting principles surprised you the most? And which one are you going to try with your child this week? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read as many as I can, and your experiences help other parents learn too. If you enjoyed this video and want more science-backed parenting wisdom from cultures around the world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we explore practical parenting ideas that help children become more confident, resilient, and emotionally healthy. Remember, great parenting isn't about controlling your child. It's about preparing them for a world where they can stand confidently on their own. And that journey begins with one simple decision. Believe in what your child is capable of today, so they can believe in themselves tomorrow.